Hang all the mistletoe.
Did you come from like a family of artists?
Well, not really creative. My mom was creative, but not any particular artist. My grandmother.
Okay.
Should shoot me down from that. She
You didn't say that.
So, anybody else? Yes.
I know the TED Talks are online. I was trying to find your TED Talk video online for TEDx.
They are releasing it. We were told Wednesday.
Okay. So would that be on the TEDx
But
Columbus site,
TEDx. Well, you can actually go to the TED website, and then you can search for TEDx Columbus Women 2016, or you can go to the TEDx Columbus Women 2016 site. Like we all have our own site.
Okay.
Or you can Google any TEDx and it can
Should come up in there.
week.
Whatever.
I would say week. Yeah, really soon. So, anybody else have any questions?
So tell us about your TED performance. It was more choreographed. You had mentioned to me. Tell me about the other levels of performance art that you do.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I would call it level, but my performance art is very impromptu, which is what my gifting is. So my challenge was actually the TED Talk. So we had to talk for 3 minutes, and that had to lead into our actual performance and what we do. And so I had my TED speech nailed. I mean, completely word for word. It was amazing. It was awesome. I was the first performer because I was painting live, and so they had to kind of clear the stage for the other performers. And so the minute they said my name, completely went blank. I literally forgot my entire speech. And I went out there and I said a prayer. On stage I had the microphone, and when I tell you I forgot my speech, I forgot every word. And so I just kind of ad-libbed my story, just like bits and pieces, but it was really through our performance that we did that kind of told our story. So I did and my choreographed dance was fine. that was all good. But it was like from kind of trauma to triumph. That was my story. And so I've got quite a testimony, quite a story to share. And I do that kind of through my performance. It's like always therapeutic for me every time I perform. But it's much easier to just kind of not have a plan and just kind of wing it and go for it. Just hope that everybody has a good time with me and watching things transform from nothing to something. So, the hope is that it's something beautiful.
So do you know what you're going to paint at all?
No. No clue. I will say this though. The only time I had some kind of plan was my TED Talk. Because I had to plan like colors, and I only had 4 minutes to do a dance and a painting from beginning to finish, and I had to finish the whole thing. So that was a challenge, and I thought, I probably want to be a little prepared. So I was. However, my paint bottles were brand new, and when I got up there, they did not go in the direction I was squirting them in. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but it was right at the beginning of my dance, and I thought there's nothing I can do. So I just I wung it. Is that a word? Yeah. So I just kind of went with it, but everything flowed. It worked. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. But now my head is like all over the place with ideas on performances. I've shared one with Mr. Luke. So maybe we'll do like a collaboration next summer, painting blind. So kind of drumming up a little bit of excitement for that. I just like to challenge myself, and so. My life has been like that anyway, so I'm like, just keep it going. So, anybody else?
Well, do you have any private session, just you and your imagination? I mean, without the crowd?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which do you like better then?
Well, I like painting for people better, just because there's interaction and you meet, it's not so lonely. I've had a gallery. Owned 2 galleries before actually, and it was a very lonely existence because you pretty much operate off having receptions and openings and things like that. You're not really a 9 to 5 operation. And just people, just meeting people and how God just opens doors when you're networking, and it's just a lot better that way. But sometimes I need a little, some therapy. So shut the door, start painting. Usually prayer does the trick, but you know, other than that.
You said trauma to triumph, so
Yes.
what was the trauma?
Oh goodness. Well, when I was a young girl, since there's children in the room, I'll keep it kind of low, but went through a really severe case of abuse for 3 years, and so that was it changed my life. You know, it changed my life, but so did God. So you know, He heals, and everything's good. But my art that's what God used. So you were talking about. So did I get in trouble when I was little? My mom just let me go. She just let me go. She still has my entire closet with all the artwork ever. Like, I mean, I'm talking painted the walls. I painted the shelves. I did. You know, I wrote poetry. She still has that closet, and she hasn't touched it. So that's kind of just a neat reminder of where I've been and where God has brought me to. And so, you know, that was my outlet. Art was just, you know, it was my therapy, along with my counselors and everybody else. I mean, sometimes you just need, you know, outside help, and it's a good thing. So art is very healing. It's very healing. My father also disowned me when I was 22 years old for marrying outside my race. And so he has not had a relationship with my kids. I'm the only child in the family with kids, and so he's missed out on that. And so talking about it just helps, you know, because there's other people that kind of need to hear that. I thought I was, you know, too young for racism in my family. I didn't realize what was going on, but that's a whole nother, it's a whole nother story. But I'm just starting to talk and open up and let people know, you know, about my life, because it's been therapeutic, and it helps other people to hear, you know, all that. And so that's a little bit. Yeah.
So did you enjoy art before the trauma, or was it something maybe that like the
No, actually, I was a tomboy. I was climbing trees and digging worms. I was outside on roller skates and skateboards, and that was up until I was 10 when the abuse started. So, yeah, I wasn't really, not that I can remember. It was outside, and then, you know, I know happy you remember the street light comes on.
Yes.
Know where you better be up on that porch and inside the front door. So yeah, but it was very soon after, because I didn't have any other outlet, because I couldn't talk. And so just drawing things out, and the way that I was able to actually come out with it to tell my parents about what had happened to me, it almost started immediately, because I couldn't get it out any other way. So, good questions. Anybody else?
Can you talk a little bit about your process with the one behind you right there, that beautiful painting of the moon?
Oh, sure. This is acrylic. A lot of people think I incorporate like glue and all kinds of other things, and Mod Podge. It's just acrylic paint, and it's a lot of acrylic paint, tons of it. And what I do is I scrunch up foil, and I press it into the paint, and I allow it to dry. It takes a couple weeks, and then I peel away the foil.
Wow.
And so it creates this texture, you know, to it. And so that's how I created that. And along with the fire pieces behind you, those are up for sale as well. Notice how I said that. So, and then the performance pieces, just so you guys know, not including yours, those are $50. And then there's 3 left over from a previous performance that I did called Art After Dark a couple of months ago. So those are available to you as well.
So, Heather, how do you choose your music?
Oh gosh, I choose my music on if I can feel it, and I feel like it inspires me, and I can move with it with my hands. I love Motown. Motown. I kind of grew up, you know, to my own drummer. You know, I had to grow up listening to like bluegrass and Elvis. So I don't know how that kind of pushed me away from, you know, that's why I don't like country. I don't not like it. But I was, you know, Prince, Madonna, Motown. I think I was being rebellious. I don't know. Yeah. But it's what I feel. It's the music I feel. So blues and jazz and gospel. I love 80s rock, because I'm an 80s kid, you know. Grew up in the 70s, but, you know, I'm the 80s kid. So rock, soft rock, R&B, hip hop, all that good stuff. So that's kind of how I got it.
So does that influence the music? Does that influence sometimes when you start
Oh
with your,
yeah, oh yeah.
your projects and stuff?
Big time, big time. I really, when I do a lot of my actual choreographed numbers for different organizations and different, community groups, I guess, that hire me to do a performance, specific to what their event is, their themed event. Then it's really like modern, classical, kind of feel contemporary. So Luke Beekman has he's a musician, so I'm sure some of you know that. I didn't know it until a few days ago, and I listened to his music, and so there's a piece that he created that is just, I'm like,
that maybe share some wealth of,
that might be the blind beat.
we already do here that bring more people into.
Columbus is just, it's everywhere. I don't even know. It's not just the short north. Like a lot of people think it's where the gallery hop area is. It is not. I mean, it is in Franklinton. It's in the suburbs. It is heavy, heavy, heavy in the arts. Every type of art you can imagine, they do it in Columbus. They try it. We experiment. We think outside the box. Every showing, every exhibit, every event you could possibly imagine. It's in the streets. It's underground. It's in the sky, literally. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. So I'm represented by a couple galleries down there, but I'm kind of moving away from that just because I'm really into the performance art. Now I'm really, it is very therapeutic. So when I do this, it's like, why not have fun and get paid? Right? Have fun. Nothing against that. But it's just fun, like incorporating, children. I've had a couple adults get up and kind of jam with me. We've done that before. It's just, art is healing, and so that's what the message I want to convey to people is. It is powerful and it is healing. It really, really is. So, from kids all the way up to older, I've literally taught 4-year-olds to 104-year-olds, like many, many, many hundreds of classes. And just to see the difference between what it does for a 4-year-old, what it does for a 104-year-old, it's powerful. It's amazing. Very therapeutic for seniors that are struggling with like Alzheimer's. Music therapy is amazing for that, but so is art therapy. When they pick up a pen, it's like, they'll talk that way, but they may not talk to their kids or the nurses, and whatnot. So, kids dealing with, behavioral issues, emotional issues, it just does wonders. So, anyway, back to Mansfield. What you guys can do, just keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Everything you guys are doing is right. The big thing is that people tend to go, you know what, it's just not moving fast enough, and they quit. And so it's don't quit. I've been doing this for 11 years, and literally this year just jumped off for me. I mean, God just opened doors. I went through another traumatic event that I talked about a little bit, kind of in my TED Talk. This year was a hard year for me. I mean, it was amazingly hard. And instead of kind of dwelling on what was going on, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just use this as an opportunity for God to just grow me and kind of figure myself out. So when I say I took a hiatus, I took a hiatus. I would say from like March to June. And then I graduated from a program at Ohio State University called Entrepreneur. You guys need that? Oh my goodness. It's taking artists who are not that gifted in every single area of operating themselves as a business. Like, you could be the most creative person in the world, but you don't know how to do A, B, C, and D, to run yourself because we're business people. That's what we do. So we have to know how to sell. We have to know how to bookkeep. We have to know all these things. It is the best program I have ever been a part of. They're going to branch it out, so it's something that maybe they can bring it into, Mansfield. But I know everybody that runs Entrepreneur, and so that would be something really neat to consider. Allowing it to kind of web out into other communities. So, anyway, that's what I did there, and then we had the TED Talk. So that came about through an email that I thought was a joke. I didn't take it serious, and I thought, oh wow, I think they're talking to somebody else. So, but this is the truth. This is like, you know, people think that TED Talkers are really extraordinary people, and it's like, no, that's the power of TED Talk. That's what they created. It's like they're taking ordinary people that have a gift or something to share, and just putting them on this educational platform and sharing it to the world, which is nerve-wracking when you're part of it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know my speech, and so everybody's going to see it before I say it. I have no idea what I said, so we're all going to find out. But anyway, it was a phenomenal experience. I had no clue how big TED was until just people really started talking, and I'm going, what? And then like one day, this was just a couple weeks ago, I don't know if any of you are connected to TED Talks, but they hit 1 billion views. I was like, oh, that's a lot. Well, that's scary. So anyway, that was just a cool experience. So everything that's kind of happened, like right during TED and after, has just been, they told me, the TED board said, they said, wait until you see what happens after this TED. I'm like, it hasn't even aired yet. And so I'm, you know, just getting opportunities to perform and do what I love doing, you know. So it's really neat.
How did you get approached to be part of it?
I got an email. And I didn't realize at the bottom of the email there was like, so send us your bio and your etc. All these things, and I'm like, okay. I didn't do so anyway. I got another email saying, Heather, I really want your stuff. Like, we really want to consider you for this TED Talk. And I realized I hadn't read the whole thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, by midnight, oh crap, they need all this stuff on my computer, like looking for headshots and looking for anything that I can to submit, and that was that. I submitted it, and then I got an email, I believe, about a week later, saying that I had been chosen as one of 10 up-and-coming performance artists.
Awesome.
And that's when I was like, okay, you know what, Heather, you have value.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so you can do this if they think you can do it, because they don't choose.
Right.
Just anybody, so they had to believe in me if they chose me, and so I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to take this a little serious. So it was just amazing. I found I had my music. I started choreographing my music, and then I got an email saying you can't use it because you don't have permission because you don't know Alicia Keys. So I thought, oh my gosh, I have like a week to find my music. And I did do an amazing composer through Ohio State University, the jazz director there. Made a song. He said, what do you want? And I told him, and he like composed it, and that was it. And so I totally got the feel for it. And I love choreography. And I mean, it was, you know, contemporary, it was choreography. So I really got to dance this thing to life the way I wanted to. So that was neat.
Do you ever pray for your art?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, so the top middle one, that top middle one, I was like, there's 2 squares left. This girl's down here slaying this. That's pretty. And so yeah, I thought, okay, God, I got 2 left. What do I do? Because I know my playlist really well, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm running out of time. But the goal is to actually have all the paintings done by the time my playlist is over. And so it was just wanting some inspiration. So, you know, there's a lot going on up there, different pieces. So I'll post them all on Instagram. Unless, you know, some go flying off the shelves tonight. So, yeah.
Do you find that painting in the moment is kind of like the metaphor of your art? You know, painting in the moment and like, you know.
For my life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for my life. Nothing ever goes the way I plan to go. It's usually a shock. And just with the things that I've been through in my life, and learning how to actually deal with them, that was my biggest problem, was like how to manage these problems, because life does not get easier, you just get stronger. And so I'm always having to be very conscious in how I'm thinking and handling things. But then, again, that's my therapy. And so that's when I can break all the rules, and it's like, it really doesn't matter what goes on up here, as long as people are having a good time, you know. I'm telling you, it's therapy. So this little one, she's never acting up. Just get her in some pain.
So Heather, what's next? What's next for you?
Oh my goodness, I've got 2 more performances in December and lining up my entire schedule for next year. Summer concert series, some really large corporations actually hiring me to do performances for like their leadership conferences, you know, some big things like that.
What are your 2 in December? Are they public or?
One is, let's see, Advanced Recovery is private. And the church is, well, it's public. You want to come to my church?
I'd like to come see because I missed it. So I would like to see, yes.
Oh,
I would love that.
video.
And I would drive for that. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
really? Okay.
It's Columbus, it's not, you know.
Okay. It's really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's not a bad drive at all.
Okay, so make sure we have that information of
Yes.
where we can.
Oh, we're gonna
send it.
we'll pass everything around. That'd be great. All right.
Thank you again, Heather. Appreciate it. Everybody give it up again.
Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get